Alright, good morning. Dustin, I'm doing this in response to the post yesterday. I just got really busy, and when you own a gym and you're housing a teenager, it is a lot of work. Anyway, I got busy, and by the time I did food prep and everything, I had long lost my steam to answer. Anyway, I thought this might be quicker than typing out something super long. A staple for deadlift for us has been the trap bar, and I'll tell you why. Ergonomically, you're built to pull in the manner that a trap bar offers. And what we have found is when we deadlift heavy, it's much harder to recover from, especially with a straight bar, with it being out in front of you just by nature of the positioning. It's just really tough on you. And so what we found is that we always do some sort of squat. Mainly we'll front squat, and then we'll trap bar deadlift. And the variances that we typically use, we'll do depends on the lifter, but we do a 4 to 8 week cycle. It's not percentage based, it's based on a single or a triple PR. So we're always trying to pull really heavy. That's where we do all of our power development, if you will. And we have a typical combo trap bar, raised handle, flat handle, and then we have one of the rogues, and it's just a bigger bar, and the weight is spread out, and you'll always pull a little more weight with that than the traditional combo. And what we have found is that you're able to pull these heavy poundages and really develop a lot of pulling power, and that does a couple of things. One is it prevents the stress on the lower back that a traditional deadlift does, especially with heavy weights. Once you get above 90%, I mean, we do most of our training with 70% up to about 85%. We'll do sometimes like 3 singles with 90%. It just tends to tear the lifter down. And my guys are drug free. No, that's not a thing where, it's like, oh, wait, no, I don't give a shit what you do. But I'm just telling you, these are things that we have to be mindful of, and recover becomes, just like for everybody, but it's paramount. So we find that we can pull these really heavy poundages, and our recovery is better, and it's easier on the lower back to recover. But one of the things that I've seen and I have experienced myself is that it trains that central nervous system, and you adapt to handling that kind of poundage. And so what we have seen after we do a short microcycle, or a mini cycle, if you will, with deadlift. We have 5 weeks of training, a deload week, and then depending on where the lifter is, we'll restart the cycle, or we'll even test. And we have found that really works well. If you watch any of our videos, Mike Gregowicz, big old Viking looking dude with tattoos, long hair, and a beard, and when he came to me, he had deadlifted 575, and we changed his train. He always trained heavy, and he just wasn't recovering. And I think that also contributed to how not well his squat was going. I just think he was training too heavy too often. So we changed, and in doing so, in less than a year, he's deadlifted 635. And I feel confident he's going to lift at IPA Worlds in September. I wouldn't surprise to see him pull 650. But what he has done, like with just a traditional raised trap bar, he's pulled 745 after front squatting a PR. So you'll see we can push that front squat, we can push the trap bar, and then we limit the percentages and workload between 70 and 90%. And we have had great success with that. When I pulled 700, that's the exact routine. And I was never a great deadlifter. I trained it hard, and I understand the mechanics, but my leverages obviously were more suited to squat and bench. So, those are some things to think about. I'm always careful to speak in absolutes because I've used leg press before. I didn't say it was a great strength builder, but there's a place for that and things of those natures. So anyway, what my hope is not to prove anybody wrong, is that it just sparks some debate and discussion, and you never know, where that may lead. So, but just to, I'm currently outside my comfort zone, so to speak. When I did nationals last year, USAPL nationals, because of the limited amount of time, and I had to go to Belarus with Jennifer for one stretch right before the qualifier, and then I was on a family vacation in Mexico. Now, I tried to train, but the gym, all the plates in the gym, I think were less than 300 pounds. So I benched and did some stiff leg deadlifts a couple of different times. That was really all the training I could do. So we did high frequency training where I was benching and squatting 4 times a week, varying percentages, and I would deadlift once heavy and then like once from the blocks during the week. I did very little assistance, but I totaled, I totaled 1630-ish raw, the USAPL Classic raw. So, but what I'm doing now is I train 3 sports, so I have to be, really careful picking and choosing. But just to give you an example, I haven't trained in any type of gear since I cut to 308 in 2014 and total elite. And so I'm in a single ply shirt getting ready for USAPL bench nationals, and I'm doing that basically every other Saturday. So I bench heavy Monday, I do close grips or a decline press session on Thursday, and then I'll bench on Saturday. And so that's been interesting because I train 3 sports, and it's interesting on the recovery and how my shoulders feel. So anyway, the whole idea behind sharing that is hopefully that it sparks some conversation. And what I have learned after doing this for a long time, that if I stay open-minded and look at things, sometimes, not that I necessarily add something to my training, but sometimes I'll do something for a short period and it sparks some growth or whatever the case may be. So hopefully it does the same for you. So there you go, fire away.